probably pull his mic close.
Yeah, nobody can hear him.
Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This your boy, Beyond, a.k.a. The Silent Prophet, along with my co-host, Big Country.
What's good?
What it do? All right, so, what's going on in your world today?
Man, nothing. Man, over here trying to get stuff done, taking care of, trying to get ready for Christmas, that holiday season coming along.
Christmas. Okay, so when it comes to Christmas, what gifts do you not want to receive this Christmas?
Don't give me some stuff I don't need,
Like
or
what?
won't. Okay, if you if you know what your man or your woman likes, go with the things they like. Don't just try to reach for some. Oh, I want to do something special and new that ain't got nothing to do with something that they like, because that 9 times out of 10 you may have that one time where it's like, oh, I really like that.
You did it.
But most of the time it's gonna be that. Okay, now I gotta act awkward. If I don't wear them turtleneck shirts, the dumbest thing for you to do is be like, oh, baby, I got you a turtleneck shirt. I did that for my mom once because I was like, oh, I went to Nordstrom's. I was like, oh.
Was it cashmere?
I don't know what it was. It was only like $80.
Okay.
And
$80 for a sweater, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, so
That's
I'm like,
special.
okay, I wanted to get this one. I went to Nordstrom, got it for her. But my mom hates turtlenecks, and I did not think about it until then. She wore that shirt one time and then gave it away.
Oh.
And I was like, what happened to my shirt? Baby, now I don't wear turtlenecks.
Yeah.
That was like, I appreciate the thought, but the shirt itself,
just not working.
Nah, it ain't gonna work.
Well, me, because I'm at a point now, what do you get me?
I mean, most of the time, it's like the wheel. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, for example,
okay,
I'm not your spouse, but I know you like games, you like artwork.
I do.
Things like that. Maybe something to do with your car.
Probably. I'll take something.
Like that
I
could
use a good car vacuum right now.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. But don't reach out here and try to be like, oh, well, baby, I bought you this. Let's say, oh, I bought you this cologne, knowing that you don't really wear cologne.
I can get into it, but I just, as of right now, I don't do it.
Man, better be some real great cologne.
You have to smell. Like, I'm looking for that cologne that just smells like that's your signature smell. When you walk around, that's what people want to. That's what I want people to smell when they see me.
Very true. Very true.
But I haven't smelt that smell yet, so I'm like,
But it's true. What's something that you say is a no-no for buying gifts?
Oh, always no socks. Don't buy me no socks. Don't buy me no ties. My job don't require a tie. So
even if my job required a tie, I don't want that tie.
Don't buy me a tie. Not on Christmas. Okay? Don't buy me no Christmas ties. That's disrespectful. What else? Don't do what a lot of people do. Buy a gift that's really for them, for you.
Mm-hmm.
Those are those work gifts.
Yeah.
You buy me a 4-way to change tires, and you the only one need new tires in the house. Like, don't do that to me.
It happens.
Just go up there to discount or wherever you want to go get some tires. Oh, I don't want to work for you for Christmas. My New Year's resolution ain't to do more work on your behalf. Like, that ain't right. I shouldn't have to do that. Gift cards. No gift cards. Like, if you get me one, it's fine.
I'm going to say, don't give me a gift card. Man, if you want to give me some money, just be like, bro, I got $100 for you right here.
The logic behind this is how I feel about gift cards, bro. This is my logic. You didn't know what to buy me, so you bought a gift card. But the thought process is, I don't know what I want you to have, but I know I want you to have it from this place. So I'm like, but if you're gonna give up the task of finding me a gift, if you're gonna give it to me like, oh, buy your gift, don't limit me. in where I need to get it. Outside of if you bought like gift cards for food, that's different. Like if you bought a Starbucks gift card, I'll drink some coffee. Yeah, I'm gonna end up over there. I'm not gonna buy Starbucks for myself. You want to buy it? Sure, I go get it. Walmart gift card. Why? I always go to Walmart. Because I always gotta get food. But if you going and buying like no disrespect to Kroger's, I love Kroger's, but don't buy me no Kroger's gift card. Like, I'm not going to try to figure this out. No.
Well, I would say if you know where I normally go.
If you know where I go, you can buy me a gift card.
Gift card, for those who do not know what to give, a gift card always works.
A gift card does not always work.
No.
Cash always works.
Well, cash always works, but people don't want to be like, oh, well, I gave you this cash. It's like, oh, well, I gave you this gift card.
Sometimes when you bought that cash, you bought them gas that week. What if you really hungry?
Yeah.
I got food now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, bro, that cash comes through. Cash is king. And now, like, gift cards really should be obsolete because what you got? Vimo, Cash App, Zelly. Like, hey, send me $20 on the Zelly, bro. Don't waste your time with the extra. Just Zelly me $20. Boom. And you invite me over your house. I'll be like, hey, you know how I got here? I put $20 in my tank from you.
Well, for me, I'm kind of old fashioned with certain things. I don't even really want gifts like that because anything that you could buy me, yes, I could get myself. And if you do get me something, just out of kindness of your heart, just make sure it's not nothing that you know for a fact I'm gonna look at it. If your spouse pauses and looks at it for more than 5 seconds,
no smile, no grin.
Like you just look down there, like
if you get to 10 seconds, then a grin, that was a bad gift. You gotta get instant green. Like when you buy Paige something, it's instant.
Yeah.
I don't need to be taking. If you're gonna buy the gift, take me back to that childhood joy.
Yeah. If you just have to, like, hey, something that's really gonna stand out. You knew he really wanted that video game. Oh, you know he wanted them shoes or something like that.
And another thing, for all those people who your spouse don't watch this show, it is what it is. So you guaranteed to get you a trash gift this year. I'm going to tell you something. Go buy yourself something. Buy yourself something in they honor. You know what I'm saying? Be like, look what you bought me. Like, you bought me this amazing gift. You bought me this. Because I knew you was going to come in here with I bought you some Folgers. Or something stupid.
Hey, that's true.
I bought you a collection of something that you never going to watch or use.
Yeah, like if, for example, for me, I'm an old, like certain things like old school. If you want to buy me an old school TV series like the Double Dragon series. When I was a kid, that was my show growing up. So
Netflix
it's like
Netflix got that now. Well, I don't know.
They ain't got Double Dragon. Trust me, they ain't got that one. They ain't got Mighty Max neither. All right, certain shows
place your nostalgia.
Yes, I'm going to. Like, for me, I just look at it as like, don't get me something that, it's just simple and easy. It's like, oh, well, like, okay, even if you were going to buy I want to buy him this TV show series. Buy me Dragon Ball Super. We could watch that on Netflix.
I can watch that.
Like, you could watch that on Hulu.
I can watch that.
Like, buy me something that is like, I ain't going to see all the time.
You know what? All right, well, I feel like we touched on that. What about... COVID now got the Omicron. The Omicron variant.
Oh, yeah, the Omicron variant. I heard about that one. And the thing I'm saying, man, I'm going to just be honest. I'm sick of COVID. If COVID was, and I'll try to get away from saying this word so much, COVID is the nigga of niggas in the, like, that one person that never want to leave you alone. It's like a bully.
But hey, I'm back. My thing is, so how they just, I don't have 100% facts on this. It's a new variant. It's coming out of South Africa.
Said that the new variant, it came out of South Africa. Like, they're stopping flights from certain countries because of it.
Right.
And then on top of that, too, they say your COVID vaccinations may not work against this variant.
But on top of that, they do say that symptoms are mild. Because, over time, with every adaptation, so supposedly, a virus don't want to die off. So it's trying to save the host. But when it first starts, it's just is what it is. So over time, every mutation, theoretically, is supposed to get weaker and weaker and weaker. So if everybody, because they said mild symptoms, people don't typically die from this. So, that whole herd immunity thing might work. You're like, you saying nobody need to get the Omicron, which I'm not. Don't take this out of context. Don't go out seeking people with a certain strand of COVID to try to contract that. Go get a booster shot or go get your regular vaccination. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But if you did just so happen to get one, the original strain was, it had a lot of people dying. The secondary strain, I forgot what it was called, but it still had people dying.
Oh, it was COVID, then it was Delta, now it's Omicron.
Right.
Delta attacked more kids, though.
Right. So I'm saying, we out here, we all contract a little Omicron and gone about our day,
But what about, there's a lot of kids out here that don't have the vaccine.
But I'm saying, if it don't work on the vaccine anyway, I got the vaccine, but it don't.
Yes, you have the vaccine, but your daughter didn't take the COVID vaccine.
True.
So that's why I say is it has me cautious, because I'm I have two little ones that I adore, and I know everyone cares about their kids.
Very much so.
But most of the time, we don't want, especially if we have young children, for them to get the vaccine, because it's if it messes me up, that's one thing. It's okay, you could suck it up. I'm like, man,
you know what it is to be an adult and get screwed over.
Yeah.
But my kid, she's neutral to this. She don't know nothing about this yet,
Yeah.
But the most thing she got to deal with is you didn't give her a cookie or something,
And that's what I'm saying. It's that childhood innocence.
Yeah.
Which, in today's society, it seems like people keep trying to beat children out of their childhood innocence.
Right.
But I'm I want my children to be healthy, be a child, go play, have a good time, not worrying about, if little Timmy over there, grandma or mama didn't want to get no vaccine. She coughed on little Timmy. Little Timmy brought it over here.
Now my baby got it. Mm-hmm. Now I got to go and be like, oh my gosh, and the way the media plays it, they sure enough is going to be sick for life. Mm-hmm. She's like, come on, dog,
So that's just, I guess, what I'm curious about.
Right.
And I know there's really not too much as people we could do right now. Yes, you could try vaccinate your children, and that's good. But then I'm like I said, I got the vaccination, not just because I was 1,000%. This was the right thing to do, but it's if anything happened to me, I'd rather it happen to me first, then my family. Well, nothing's happened to me with the COVID vaccine, so I'm okay, cool. My wife got the vaccination.
Right.
I'm cool.
I'll be the guinea pig so everybody can get what they need to get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's that's my job. Yeah. I'm going to take whatever bullet come this way. But I'm just curious about it.
Mm-hmm. So, on that, I sent you a text message about this kid out in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the football team. And it was this openly gay man that's 40 years old. He was a restaurant worker. So the football player, freshman, college, Virginia, goes out there. He gets on Tinder. He sees the guy. I guess the guy was posing as a girl. He didn't know the man's gender. Went up there, got a little neck from him. Didn't know. Came back. Then he started hearing rumors about him. Well, not rumors. Started hearing the truth. Hearing the truth about the man. Went back, apparently went to the man's house and groped him to see if he was a man, found out he was a man, and beat him to death. I'm not for...
Okay, I want to make sure I say this.
Keep it PC.
Yes, it has to be in PC culture, because we ain't trying to get canceled too quick.
No issue.
Okay, so... my thing is, both people were wrong. And what I'm saying is, you're wrong for hurting another individual physically. Like, you killed another man. That is definitely wrong, period. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You're wrong. But on the other hand, I will say it's kind of... I know certain people won't agree with it the same way, but it's like you lied to me on something that crushed my whole world. And I know someone's like, oh, well, how can that do that? Because if you're...
You broke my code. I don't identify as you identify. And if I was to take you to somewhere and force you to have sex with the opposite sex, you'd be like, oh my gosh, look what he did to me.
Yes.
Well, you, with deception, had me sitting here getting topped off, and now I'm looking like a fool because everybody telling me, oh no, that's a man. Now don't get me wrong, you buddy did, like he said, you killed somebody, bro. You
going to jail. You need to go to jail, man.
Go to jail. But I also brought this up because I don't know how safe Tinder is if I set up my list of preferences and I'm right and left swiping these people. Ain't Tinder right and left swipe? I don't know.
Yeah. You swipe. You swipe left if you want them. You swipe right if you don't want them.
Either way,
something like that. Yeah.
So I'm swiping. How did what you identify as getting even in my swiping left and right circle?
But see, that's the issue because it's social media, even though that's not the same. It's a dating website where you put your preferences on there. And if you identify yourself as a woman, honestly, I'd rather it have one on there as what you identify as and then what you actually are. And you have to put them both on there.
Actually are isn't PC. Because what you identify as and from your perspective is what you actually are. And I want to respect that to the utmost degree. But it's a safety precaution for those who don't want to dabble in that realm.
Lifestyle.
Hey, I need some form of safe measure to make sure that the woman up here, doing her job is actually a woman in my world. I got married to solve all that. But for y'all new generation of kids, I feel for you, but I'm also not finna sit here and be like, oh my God, this is a terrible situation. Nah, they gotta live their life too. I just wish we could find a way to live our lives in a way that we wouldn't affect each other in that
Here's
manner.
my thing. I think both sides should respect each other. I respect you for the decisions you make, but respect me enough for the decisions that I make, and you can't be like, oh, well, your opinion shouldn't matter to me. My opinion shouldn't matter to you. If you call yourself a woman, if you believe you are a woman, okay, that is fine. That is what you do. But respect me enough to say, I don't believe, since I don't believe in what you identify as, not as, oh, I don't believe you a woman, but my preference isn't for someone who came out of the womb as a male,
right,
and identifies as a woman. Mm-hmm. Like, just say those two things. I came out of the womb as a male. I identify as a woman. I respect that. And I'm like, that is fine.
When you say, what's your pronoun? That's a she over there, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to my bedroom, I want it had to come out the vagina with a vagina. Yeah. I don't want the doctor to go in and create one. I don't want none of them. I don't want none of that.
But see,
out the vagina with a vagina.
That ends up being the big issue for what I want versus what you want. If I say I don't want that, it shouldn't be an issue to you if you...
Yeah, because it's enough people who identify and move in your realm to where, hey, he not feeling he ain't with the sauce. Cool, there's somebody else who with it, and they go find them. They not hard to find. Apparently, it's a lot of people in Atlanta. I haven't been there.
Actually, it's a lot of people in Dallas. Dallas is number 2.
It's a lot of people in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's even better. You can go out here and just find you somebody. You ain't got to put that man in that position. But I guess you're in Virginia, so I don't know how Virginia roll. In other news, let's jump to something new. So, question: should you date multiple people during the dating phase, like serial dating, or should you date in a style that's more monogamous and closer related to marriage?
Truth be told, I believe first it depends on what you're looking for. When you first are out there and say, hey, you know what? I want to date. I want casually date and everything. Nobody should just jump in saying, oh, I want to get married. Because if you're jumping in saying you really get married, for a lot of people, that raises the red flag. No, yes, you may have the intention of one day being married. But if the first thing you come out is, oh, I want to be married, so if we ain't doing nothing to go marriage, you won't find no one like that.
Right.
It's like, oh, I want to be married, so you want to be married, I want to be married, so we going to date. No.
My thing, I look at it just like, I mean, when I put things together, I put it together in logical ways based on stuff, everyday stuff that we do. So your job, for instance, when they want to find a new candidate, what do? They tender is Indeed or Monster or what, that's their Tinder. So they right left swiping your resumes, and they looking for the ideal candidate. But you know what I'm saying? But this thing is, hey, before I get to it, I gotta do this interview, which would be a date. Because if you don't identify interview as a date, then I don't know what it is. I mean, a date is an interview. I'm sorry, because an interview cannot be a date. That's a quid pro quo. But you know what I'm saying? You go on a date, you basically trying to highlight yourself and say, you're like, yeah, I'm this, that, and the third. I'm who I say I am. I'm and you gonna like what I do or like who I am, and you trying to learn each other. But I don't feel like you should fault anybody for having multiple interviews. Now, when it comes to getting the job, which I dictate as, some people say it's, when you go exclusive, and some people say when you get married.
Yeah, it all depends on your personal preference. You have to be able to speak with that person and figure out what you want to do. Hey, right now, because you have to decide, hey, are we going to be monogamous? Are we going to be open? Is it like in today's society, there are a lot. There's polygamy, all these other things, and there's nothing wrong with these things. You just have to be able to voice and communicate. What are you looking for? What do you not? Like, what do you not want to put up with? Because if I don't want to put up with somebody with attitude all day, the worst thing for me to do is go get someone that every single time I see them, they have an attitude.
Or if I do get this person that every time I see them, I have an attitude, and I got this idea of, I'm trying to get married. Now I'm going to stay in this relationship long because I'm going to try to make it work.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you should get into relationships trying to fix people. Grow people, sure. Because I'm not who I was when my wife met me. I'm similar in a lot of ways. But it's a lot of stuff that I do and I don't do. And I've changed to adapt, to mold, and make this right. But I didn't need fixing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just the updated version of who I was. So when
I agree with that.
Yeah, when it comes down to, the dating scene, I say, man, you don't know which car you want to drive. Some people think they want a Ferrari and really need a minivan. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, test drive as many cars as you feel like you need to test drive.
Yeah.
But I'm not, when I say test drive, there's no innuendo towards sex.
Truth be told, if that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative.
Some people mash the gas.
Like, some people will sit here and tell you, I'm not about to buy a car or even think about riding in a car that I can't drive off the lot right now.
Right.
Like, I want to see how this car moves. And for those that say, oh, well, you could teach, sometimes you can't teach. We're not going to sit here and tell this like everybody could be taught. Yes, everybody can if they're willing to be taught.
If you want to learn.
There are some men out here that are stuck in their ways. There are some women that are stuck in their ways.
Right.
Like, I'm just saying for me, for example, I ain't gonna put nobody else out there. But There's been a lot of women that swear that they're great at sex. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, they lied to you. You just lay there. You are a starfish.
What?
There are a lot of men out here that talk trash about how they're great at sex. And there's a lot of women out here that will sit here and tell you, whoever told you that needs to be shot. Oh, gosh. Like, I'm sorry. This is true. Bad sex is out there. And nobody, first of all, let's be.
You sound like
okay, bro. Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Bro, would you have married your wife if she was trash?
No.
Like, and I'm pretty sure your wife wouldn't have married you if you were just trash.
Just garbage.
Like, he don't even want to try.
I don't even want to fix that.
I ain't saying you supposed to get out here and be Babe Ruth just knocking them out the park.
You ain't batting 100 every time. You know what I'm saying? I've had my off days. But
everybody, there is no man out here, there's no person out here that hadn't had off day. But you know.
You got to have a good day to know you had an off day.
Yeah, it's like, I know this is A game right here.
A-game. This is why she married me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is why I can have this off day.
A game, but all you keep getting is that C, almost F level, D level. It's like, nobody want that.
Nobody wants that.
I know a lot of people say it's not about sex, and I do believe it's not all about sex. But let's be honest. How many people cheat for sex?
Well, let's be frank. How many people cheat? What all do people cheat for?
The main reason is communication, sex, and needs not being met.
Right.
Like, if it's something I want that you won't do, I'm going to go find somebody that's going to do that. And one of the big issues that we have now is like, well, if I don't want to give that to you, you shouldn't want it. No, that person still wants that. No matter if it's a male or a female. They still want that. Like, if they want quality time, genuine quality time, and you always doing something else, being with your friends. We've had people on the show that said that. I'll kick it with their friends all the time.
Yeah.
They don't ever want to hang out with their spouse, the person they're interested in, or anything like that. They're going to, at some point in time, be like, man, I could get that from this person. I'd rather get it from you, but since you won't give it to me, you know what? They'll give it to me.
Right.
Everybody is not just going to sit up here and be like, eh.
Right. Because what I wouldn't want to do is sit up here and preach, like, ideals and perfect scenarios. Like, a relationship is not perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be ups and downs in it, and some stuff break the relationship, and some stuff, grow it. So, if with sex, attitude, whatever, if there's something that you're unwilling to, adapt, if you're not, malleable in some ways, to just because sex to a lot of people is a big deal, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a really, really small deal. Yeah. It's either you do it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? And, I hate when they start mixing in they morals and all that. My religion said bedroom undefiled. We doing whatever I need to get in here to get it done. So, I just need to know yes or no, really. Like, don't try to, I feel guilty. For what? You with me.
Yeah.
But I'm also speaking from a married man's perspective.
And so, also said be fruitful and multiply. You can't multiply if you're not getting it in. I'm just saying. If you're not doing this,
I mean, you gotta understand. I respect what you're saying.
Hey, that's biblical. I'm just saying. And I know there's going to be someone that's like, these things, and this shouldn't happen, and all that.
You got people out there. You got certain people out there who be telling you, you can only do these positions, or you can only do. I be like, who wrote that? Who?
First of all, that's religion. That's not spirituality. That. Like old people wrote certain stuff and said this was unladylike. This was, you should never do this.
I just want to know whose sex was so crazy and wild that they just like, I can't do that no more. Like, I can't look at my mom in the face after doing that.
First of all,
because that's the only only way I see you. Or it's either that way. It was either I was just so nasty to where I can't come back, or it was I'm so clean and I had such bad sex that I want everybody to suffer like this. Like there's no people having good just regular sex.
That's the thing. Like our grandparents did it. Our great grandparents. People been doing. There's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing.
Like everything you did, your parents did, your grandparents did, all that kind of stuff. But what the big issue is a lot of people is like, there's like, kind of is how I look at it is more hypocritical. Right. It's like, okay, we did that, but you know, like when people find God, I'm like, we all find God in our own different ways, right. All those kind of things to make stuff better. And God, I believe God's in my life, but that don't mean God told me to be a prude over here. Just be, oh well, we're not going to do this. Oh, you shouldn't look at this. I'm like, no.
Like, I ain't here to judge a soul. I'm gonna live this life, and if you like how I'm living, this is what I believe. That's how I do it.
Yeah, you and the Bible also says, "Be not be." Bleh. Ooh, I'm gonna butcher that one. But you shouldn't judge someone and let you without sin cast the first stone. That's the better one. Mm-hmm. Like if you haven't done nothing wrong, throw that rock. But we've all done something wrong. Yep. Just because you won't tell nobody or nobody know any skeletons in your closet don't mean nothing.
All right, well, let's jump back to
the
topic. Okay, so we talked about it, the dating, and of course, like I said, and he said, if you want to go and you want to test drive and have sex early, do your thing. I'm not here to stop you. I ain't like I said, no judge, no jury. I did my thing too. So let's say you're sitting up there and, you know, you dated a few and you finally got to a point where, like, because everybody gets to
the point. You found that one.
I was going to say you got your start at 5.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, these are the ones I really like, and now you got to do your elimination process through them. How do you go about the process of, like, how do you go from dating multiples to now I'm serious, I want to find the one, like you doing The Bachelor now?
Oh,
you
well.
You at the final season, you're trying to figure out who finna get the ring.
Oh, well, for me, how I did it, because I was dating multiples. That was just me at that point in time. And the whole idea was I started looking past sex. Now, sex was that got you on the scoreboard. Sex did get you in this game, but sex ain't gonna keep you in this game. Right. Like, if it was trash, yeah, you about one of the first one to get cut off. Now, after that, I'm looking at, like, what do you bring to the table? And what I mean by bring to the table, what can you offer that would help us build? Like, for example, I don't deal with stank attitudes. If you are always negative, you always angry, you always have some, yeah, sex was good, but yeah, you go over that way. Oh, do you actually believe I should work and do it all, or should we both work? How much effort should we both put in? Like, if you're not putting in the effort, except the only place you put in effort is the bedroom, yeah, that's the next one it can go. Because of the fact of the matter is, like, we not going to spend day in, day out, 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year in this bedroom. So I'm going to need some more stuff outside of that.
First of all, just the thought of being in a bedroom 365, 24/7, that was just torturous in itself. Because I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
First of all, I ain't going to go there. That's more ignorant.
That's ridiculous. No.
Like, because I'm not putting in that much work.
I'm not.
Don't get me wrong. I put in work, and I like putting in work. But I'm not going to, look at it like this. If you think about those people that have sex every single day, twice a day, 3 times a day, either A, you ain't got no job, B, both of y'all are putting in the same amount of work. Because, just being honest, most times the dude putting in more work than the woman. I'm just saying. I mean,
well, you know,
tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm like, I'm just saying.
When it came down to myself and the whole whittling down process, I first of all, because mine was, I'm just talking to y'all, then I decided, because I do it more talking to y'all, then I go straight to exclusive. So it's like, okay, yeah, we all cool. I like all y'all, but I chose her. I'm finna go down this exclusive.
But how
path.
you know you chose the right one? Or
Because,
did you just say, "Oh, well, she seemed cool, so I'm going with her."
It was definitely like okay, this person, you know, oh, they like the same stuff I like, but they might, maybe your attitude ain't right, maybe like you said, she negative about certain things, or you know, it's something about you that didn't mesh and didn't click with me. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I'm gonna just all right, cut ties and move on. Also, a big deal is how you came at me. If you came at me like, you know what I'm saying, something to just go through and get on by my day, then don't be upset when I give you what you want. What you want it, here you go. Boom, boom, bam, bow. I'm out. So, you know, when it came to Ronnie, the expectation was I want more from you. So I'm like, okay, well, what you want? You know, now it's like a lot of people think they put in applications, but they don't fill out all the information right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know,
or a lot of people have that check on the box says they've been a convicted felon or something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and also, I hate people to take the road, but it is what it is. I did not do, like, if you talk to one of my homeboys,
convicted felon.
It's convicted felon. Because if you failed with him, I hang with people who similar to me. I'm not saying they're exactly like me, but there's facets of them that I see in myself. So if it didn't work with them, the likelihood of what you got going for you working with me, I probably feel like, nah, it ain't gonna work. And also I gotta go deal with my homeboy who gonna be trying to tell me, because I live on a respect thing.
And then let's be honest, ego plays a point.
Yeah,
I don't want backdoor somebody. Especially somebody I got to see on the regular.
You know, only thing I'll take used off a friend is a car.
Yeah.
I don't want to, if you bite the piece of pizza, I don't want you to hand me the bit off piece. I want my own personal piece of pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cars are different. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can sit in the seat. But when it comes down to personal items that are going to be attached to me for long periods of time, I don't view my car as an extension of myself. But the foods you intake or the women you take into your life, ultimately, I'm going to be one with you, but I don't want him to have one piece of you too.
But let's be honest, there's some dudes out there that...
I can't speak for the world.
I mean, we can't speak for the world, but we have to be honest. There's some dudes out there, yes, that will take the leftovers.
Well, I don't want to call her leftover because we view her as a prize and she's not
okay,
leftover.
The bidden off piece of food.
Exactly. Some
people will take the bidden off. Like, oh, well, you didn't want it? Shoot.
It's like when you go to Best Buy, you know they got the TV out there that everybody they turn on. That's the sample TV.
Yeah.
So you can see what the TV you gonna be like.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants the sample TV. They know people don't want it.
I want my TV fresh out the box.
They know nobody wants it because it's got a lot of people that use this TV.
Yeah.
And the TV ain't really do much. It's just on. So it's not like but at the same time, it's like all these people watch that TV. The stores themselves know. I don't want to sell this TV. If I have to sell it, it's going to be a major discount. So if in my world, if you was the girl who was with my homeboy or something like that, you would have to come at a major discount. You know, you'd be like, I have to be happy all the time. And I'd be like, that's being fake. So I don't want you to have to compromise who you are to be with me. Yeah. So go be with somebody. Switch states. It's a lot of women who only loose women in Texas. You go up to Oklahoma, boom, you got a new home. You got new dudes to finesse.
Relocate.
You know what I'm saying? You get to do this 50 times. If you don't get it right in 50 states, I'm sorry for you.
Well, you can go overseas.
You know what I'm saying? People who don't make the NFL go to the Canadian Football League. It happens. It's a respectable league. You gonna get to play. Who was it? Strawberry?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, went over there, went to China. Bruh, legend. Decent over here, legendary over there.
Yeah.
Respect it. I'm just stating facts.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I just like,
look, if you at a college right now, let's say you at SFA, and everybody that had some good times with you,
the crew.
Switch up. That's all I'm saying. Be like, I don't like this team no more. I don't like this college no more, and go find you another one. UNT taking people right now. I don't recommend UNT, but it's what it is. Do we as people understand our nonverbal cues in dating, relationships, and marriage?
So I'm like, one of the main things I say, I know we're supposed to work on communicating with each other.
Correct.
But your nonverbal cues are like, you do more nonverbal than verbal. Right. Like, if you sitting down on the couch and all that kind of stuff, certain nonverbal cues let people know if you want to be talked to, if you don't.
Oh, so what you talking about? That resting B-faced?
Yeah, like it's a lot of different nonverbal cues. It's like for example, when you are dating someone or when you're trying to holler at somebody, your nonverbal cues are the main thing they look at. Like I was asking women this week. I was like, how do you let a man know that you're interested in them? And they said they give him the look. I'm like, so
what's the look?
What's the look? It's like, because there's not too many. Yes, there's a few bold women, but not too many that will come up and ask a man. I was asking people on the internet the same thing. And most of them were saying, oh, well, he just know.
But what if he don't know? Then he ain't got the sauce.
Yeah.
Think how much you lost out on because a woman expected you to know.
And then,
you're like, how was I supposed? How would I know?
Yeah, and that's true. It's like nonverbal cues give us that. Okay, go, stop. Like.
This plays into I feel like this plays into why men act the way we act and women act the way they act. Mm-hmm. Because women like to move in secrecy. It's like, it's a hand gesture. It's a movement. It's the way I look at him. When a guy want to talk to, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Because I use shortcuts.
First of all, look at it like this. If a dude over here across the way just staring at this girl over here, blinking at her and all this stuff, blowing kisses, most girls I would think would say, he look kind of weird. He should come over here and talk to me if he really want to talk.
If he really want to, he need to be bold about it. Like, you see it's birds out there who got these elaborate dances and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's how men move. We be like, I want her. Let me go dazzle her with my style, my flair, my swagger. Mm-hmm. And then, women out here want to act like we birds, but we so far from animals. So at this point in life, you need to go straight for the kill, especially these days, because you don't know. Look, women outnumber men. We all know that. It's a different game. Okay, dudes ain't out here courting. Like, no, we need to know. You know what I'm saying? It's actual groups online that be like, share your man. It's share your man groups. Cause bro, look it up.
Man, how many women actually? Man, how many black women that would be like?
They got enough to where they formed a group and they got them a sizable amount of followers. I know that.
I'm just saying, I don't know too many women.
I don't know too
You could
many.
Ask your wife right now.
My wife ain't finna share me. I can't even have female friends. What you talking about?
First of all. Let's just say you were more than enough for your wife. She still ain't sharing you.
She not.
If you were like, man, like, let's just say she could not handle you because you were just so much. She still ain't sharing.
She ain't sharing. I'm gonna figure out a way to get this to work.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to just get better.
Mm-hmm. Either I'm gonna have to get better, or he gonna have to suck it up and calm it down. or something. But we ain't doing no sharing.
Ain't no sharing. But online, go on Facebook, it's share your man groups. They just feel like, look, we ain't getting no younger. Jagged edge. You know what I'm saying? So they want, that's what they want.
But okay, that brings up the question: What are what is a non-sexual verbal cue?
There's no such thing as a non-sexual. Like,
I mean, what? Okay, a non-verbal
non-verbal
sexual cue. Like,
non-verbal sexual cue. I used to go around all the time at UNT saying she mind banged me. Like, it happens. You know when it happens. And sometimes it's rape, and to mentally rape me as I'm walking. But it's that long gaze, long, uninterrupted. Nothing's gonna stop me. You need to see me seeing you. You ever walk around and you feel eyes on you?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Somebody watching me, and then you get to looking around and you find them. It's like, oh, she look good. Be like, yeah.
I
If she
can
look
feel
bad,
it in the
be
force,
like,
huh?
no. This is a Freddy Krueger Jason moment. If she ugly, but if it's something nice, you're like, yeah, all right. We on the same link, you know.
I mean, the reason I ask this is because, like I say, we communicate verbally, but we also communicate non-verbally.
Right.
But one of the big issues that we have is our communication. Either A, miscommunication, B, the lack of it.
But you see, in that statement, I feel like you're using the symptom as the problem. Like, people, your nose is running, but it's not running because the nose running isn't the problem. It's something else that caused it, whether it be allergies or the flu. Like, get to the root cause. When I say that, I'm saying if you got communication issues in your relationship, it's because you got either too much pride, you too fearful, you too concerned about, oh, well, if I tell them this, what are they gonna think? Everybody got these invisible eyes that are always watching them with judgment. When in reality, no one really cares.
And if they do care, they shouldn't.
If they do care, they got too much time on their hands. They ain't got nothing going for themselves. Like, when I see them people who be like, oh, she shouldn't be with that white guy. Why not?
Yeah, if that's the person that make her happy,
If that's
be
who
happy.
make her happy, if that's who gave her the long gaze and mind banged and they got together, leave them alone. Ain't my problem. I got too much to worry about. I'm trying to make sure my wife ain't out here mind banging nobody. So let me get to where she want to look at my wife need to look at me.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried. I can't worry about who you with, who you talk to, what sex they. I don't care. And if you thinking that at some point in my day I'm thinking about your relationship, and that's why you can't tell your wife or your husband what you really want, then that's problematic.
Yes, that's a big problem. But I think that does happen a lot of times.
A lot.
Like, for example, like we even talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we were over my house. When we were talking about how men will tell, hey, I love my mama to death, but my mom doesn't run my house.
Right.
Because the communication my mom understands, that's a grown man. He going to do what he want to do in his house.
In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, my mom raised me to be a successful man. So if she got to keep coming and taking over my house, I'm not successful.
Yeah.
So either you didn't raise me the way you needed to, or I didn't pick up the lessons you was putting down. Whichever one. So I need to run my house.
But with that statement, I've heard numerous women talk about when they're talking with their mom and things like that. Like, I don't have to tell my mom I'm a grown man. My mom knows.
I don't have to say that.
I'm a grown man. I shouldn't. It's nonverbal. I don't have to say it. She sees the way I move, the way I act, the things that I do,
right,
and she correlates that as grown man. But
he handles his responsibilities.
Yes, he does what he needs to do. But I know a lot of ladies that it's hard for them with their mom because it's like,
I don't know with their mom. It's mainly with their dads.
Dad.
I mean, granted, the mom is the verbal piece of it.
Yeah.
But it's just, when it comes to their man, they always it's a compare. Like when my dad did this and he's doing this, and then she'll go tell her dad, and then in his mind, anything that's not me is not man. You know what I'm saying? Like you walk around, he can't even pull his pants up. How he a man? Oh, he can't change no tire. Don't bring him around my house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But your father's moving like, this is what I did. You out here trying to buy a house, I built them. So,
yeah,
man, this is what men do. Men get it done, whether they building it or buying it. And
True.
he ain't doing either. So, he not man. And then you always, as a man, you constantly living in that shadow until you separate yourself from it as a man in some way and make her understand that, hey, even if you don't like how I'm doing it, I'm getting it done.
So what do you think would be the best way to get someone to actually understand? Because I've always looked at it as the actions speak louder than words.
That's the only way. Like, for the most part, like, saying it, and it don't mean much. Like, just talking about how man, like, if you gotta say you a man in a conversation, then that's not them doubting your manhood. It's you doubting your manhood.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with them. I ain't got to tell you I'm a man or none of that. When I'm talking, believe me when I'm saying what I'm saying. At my word.
Yeah.
Because what I tell you right now, most likely, if not 99.9% of the time, what I just said is what's going to happen from me.
True.
That's how men operate.
Stand on my word.
I'm going to stand on what I said. I said, yeah, my pants ain't up, but I do this. And your daughter likes it. Done. Leave it. Like, no disrespect to you, bro, but this is what I do. This is why she with me. If you wanted her to be with you, that's incest, my G. Stop it.
Yeah.
So, at a certain point, you have to establish yourself as a man, and majority of the time, it's through levels of success. Like, it's not many people finna go out and have a lot to say about a dude who, when you come see your daughter, oh, she got the car she wants, she got the house she wants, her kids happy, she don't seem to complain about it. Like, I ain't got nothing to say. Because whatever he's doing, whatever he was taught, it worked.
Yeah.
When it comes down to, vice versa, some fathers don't give you much competition to even go against. It's like, first of all, you probably wasn't there, especially if you was in the crack era. Like, you probably wasn't even, it's not just me coming home every day. Unfortunately, we got to accept blame when it's there, and we got to take it away when it's not. For some of you, it was because the government took you away from your home. For others, it's because you got taken away from your home, from your own doing.
Yeah.
Life. So some of y'all didn't put a situation or in place or build any construct to have her look at to see, well, this is what a man does versus this is not what a man does. So when I show up, everything I do is new, so it don't really make a difference whether I'm a good man or a bad man. As long as I'm here. And that's where a lot of people are today. That's why I feel a lot of people are. So when you're asking me, how do you as a man separate yourself and make it where you can start relying so heavily on your parents and look to me as the guy who provides and does what he do? Like you said earlier, it's action. I'm going to do what needs to be done. And sometimes the role of a man ain't to be the hero. Sometimes you ain't being Batman, you being the Joker. Because I ain't never seen... If Bruce Wayne wasn't a billionaire, he wouldn't be rich. But I know somebody who would. The Joker. Because he's taking money from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So sometimes you got to be the villain to get what you want to provide for your family. Just is what it is. I'm not saying go rob people. But what I am saying is, though, when push comes to shove, sometimes people going to be mad at you for doing what you got to do as a man.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to be able to stand in that fire if you got to stand by yourself.
Sometimes. It's what it is. I know what we need to do. I know where we want to go. And, okay, we on fire right now, but I'm going to be burning. Y'all stay over there. When it's done burning, I'll let y'all know and y'all step down too. Because it's going to take us wherever we're trying to go. It is what it is. I'm just holding on. Let's get to the next one. All right, so what's a way to have a healthy disagreement or argument with your spouse, and how do you deal with conflict in your home?
Okay, this was one.
Throws.
Oh no, because this was one that me and my wife had to work on a little more. I could be honest and say it, because partly my thing is I hate being wrong, and I've had to, over the course of the years me and my wife have been together, I realized on certain things she is correct. I just didn't want to hear it, so I tried to maneuver it in a way to make me right.
I'm not all the way wrong.
Yeah, it's like I was like kind of right.
Kind of right.
It's like, but
if you see it from the way I see it, I'm right.
Yeah, but one of the things I really had to realize is where she's coming from in certain understandings. But it's the same thing with my wife, because she don't like being wrong neither. So we've used to bump heads a lot about that, because neither one of us want to be wrong. My thing is a great way of coming to it is, okay, if we're not going to agree on it, okay, you know what? What we going to do, take a breather. I'm going to go do something. You're going to go do something. We come back again where we not just so gung-ho on who's right and who's wrong. Right. And then approach that same question again. Yeah. What's the issue? Can we fix it? What's the best way to fix it? Right. Because when you emotional, when you first start, like the worst thing I hate is when my wife says, we need to talk. I'm like, man, if you don't tell me right now. Like, I hate when you say we need to talk, because it's like, it's always something that I'm doing or you feel I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But over the years, I'm like, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, let's talk. My thing is, when it comes to me, it's like, I have an issue where, because, you know, like you said, I'm pretty much a loner. Yeah. So I'll come up and you'll be giving me this issue, this problem, and sometimes I'll be like, well, I don't need you to fix this with me. I can fix this I can fix this by myself. But I've learned over time that even if you can just go and just fix it, they want to be a part of the process, and then that's how you maintain it. It's like, okay, well, we fix this. Because if I keep on going through the process of fixing it myself, then it's like, okay, I keep telling myself I don't need you. Then I prove to myself that I don't need you. And now I get to asking myself this question in the back of my head. Why are you here? If you can't help me, then why are you here? What's the point? Why do we keep going through this back and forth? Because you're not doing anything for me. But it's self-inflicted, because I put you in a space where you couldn't help me because I closed myself off. So I had to learn that, hey, sometimes, even though you could do it by yourself, no, you need to involve the other person, involve your spouse.
Especially if you and your spouse are together, why wouldn't you involve your spouse? Whether you a man paying all the bills or a woman paying half the bills, I look at it as like, why not involve the person that's supposed to be in this with you? Right, if we say two is one and we all supposed to be together having a great time, it's like, I have to include you on the important decisions.
Right. I got to make sure you know, that,
And I know there's this old school saying, about men being the head. And I agree, men are the head, but I don't believe the man is the head to rule.
But even though I say, I agree with you, yeah, a man's the head, but there's a whole body to take care of.
Exactly.
So, you as the head might be looking forward and seeing the troubles coming, or seeing the prosper and all that, and you taking the body towards it, but you got to tell the legs, hey, we need to walk in that direction. And then it might be a branching way. You need to tell the arms, hey, we need to move it out the way. Like, when I say, like, head, I think more quarterback.
Yeah.
I need to know what everybody's doing so I can make the best play for us.
Exactly.
Right. But we all on the same team.
It should be a team effort. It's not me say you follow. Right. It's like, hey, okay, I see this. I see these different plays going on in the huddle. Hey, let's go and make this happen. If you see something like, well, the outside linebacker keep on coming in for this blitz to get me, it's like, hey, no, we can't do that one, because if you do that, we just gonna be sacked by the offense by the D.
Take that. I don't want to do that. We trying to get this touchdown.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do is X, Y, Z, and they gotta respect you. Like you gotta respect me to a point where you let me make that call. Like, yeah, this is what we gonna do, and here's why. And you see, and you be like, okay, he said this is what we doing. Even if I'm gonna get lit up, I'm gonna follow this lead because 9 times out of 10 we get a touchdown in the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm gonna take this hit,
I'm
but
gonna take this hit, or I'm gonna go block this blitz. But you need to get the ball to the end zone. Got you. At least the first down.
and that should be the goal.
That's the goal.
Is we have a way of where we're trying to go, a way we trying to move. And me and my wife had to discuss this like about a month and a half ago because there are certain things that we want to do, but we were letting other people kind of infiltrate and push our timelines and the different things we want to do.
Right.
And we sat back and was like, we're not there yet. We're right here.
Right.
So no matter what anybody else is doing, this is what we're
This
doing.
is where we are. I know what you want. I know what you're saying. But this right here, this is where we are.
And that's one of the big issues is because most arguments end up starting because outside interference gave somebody an idea.
What?
And you started.
Yeah. But
Let me think.
a lot of people arguments happen from like from success, and I'm not talking about your success or my success. I'm talking about your parents might be very successful at something, and then they tell you, well, all you got to do is do this and get her on board with this.
Yeah.
And
now you over here trying to figure out.
Now I'm trying to muscle that into you, and then you get to the point where you're like, well, when I jumped on this team, that wasn't our trajectory. That wasn't what we was trying to accomplish in the first place. But you like, it's so much easier. We can do this. We can get this done. But you never convinced the team or explained to the team why you calling the audible on the play.
Yeah.
You want to drop everything, switch, and move a whole new direction. But the team don't understand the mission, the mode, the reason, none of that. It's just you saying, I called it, and now we going that way. And so, and really it's coming from somebody who, they took that route. And you look at them like they successful. But the truth is, your parents, most of the time, 18 to 20 years older than you. So that play they called it at a time in their life to where 20 years from now, it'll make them successful. And they can give you this bit of advice.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's multiple plays they could have called at that very time that would have led to similar results. And I can't say that you ain't making it.
I will say this one thing, and I agree with what you're saying. Mm-hmm. One of the things is some of those plays are outdated.
True.
So you can't get that, like, no matter if they got that play to make it to where they were to be as successful as they were, that play ain't going to work nowadays.
It might not.
Like,
Some might.
Like there's that old one where people like I remember my grandma used to say that, man, if you go get that college education, that's gonna put you in a whole nother league on your own. How many college graduates do we have now working regular jobs?
How many college graduates do we have right now who are behind the people who didn't go to college?
True.
Like
that play ain't working.
For a long period of time, I was like, I got homeboys who never touched the college campus, and they making X number of dollars while I'm going and getting, and they the people giving me the interview. Now I got the college degree, but I'm like, it don't, you know what I'm saying? It don't equate.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, technically, I moved in a different light. I'm moving a little bit faster, but I feel like I can't say with the amount of debt I accrued from college.
True.
Even if I have to, I don't have an option. I gotta keep pushing and reaching for higher levels of money just to reach their level of money.
Yeah.
Like they don't have
as much debt
as me. They don't have that reoccurring bill that happens every month. Cause Sally Mae coming. She wants that Navient now.
And nobody like her.
Nobody like her. She gonna keep coming and she gonna get what's hers, and she don't care. Where so it was one point where I was paying $400-500 in student loans every month, and I was only making $12 an hour, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really like, and at the time I'm paying for a car and car insurance. I'm like, people like, Brian, why can't you save money?
Mm-hmm.
What money? What money?
Everybody, well, you got that degree and you got that good job.
I'm like, I got a good job. I'm setting up tables. What are you talking about? Ain't no good company, and that's why I give UNT a hard time, but in reality, I have to give myself a hard time because, hey, I was put in a situation where this ain't winning to me.
Yeah.
And I just feel like with my work ethic and my hustle, I could have over time come up with I don't feel like
a master plan.
Me going to college and me not going to college don't say I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Probably not on this podcast. I probably wouldn't have met you. Yeah. So I met good people in college. But overall, the drive of a person, I feel like, is it's the sail on the boat. We all in the water, but the drive is still the drive. And if you catch the wind and you pushing yourself, and if you ain't got the wind, you grab the oars and row your boat, then by all means, you most likely will be successful, regardless if you got a college degree or not. Regardless, because at this point, everybody got college debt, and it's a lot of people ain't gonna pay them back. Ain't paying them back. Don't intend to pay them back, and they looking at like, well, it's a debt crisis. Well, it's only a crisis because there was promises made, whether directly or indirectly, that wasn't fulfilled.
Yeah.
So, is what it is. Some people came out, like my brother came out on the right side of the coin when it came to college.
Oh, that's very true.
I came out on the complete opposite end. I came out with stress. I had nightmares about college, literal nightmares. I'm not talking about, I had physical nightmares, woke up cold sweats. And that's after college. So when people tell me college is good for it, no, it's not. I'm somebody who went there. I've seen it. I've traveled the terrain. I can tell you college is not for everybody because it wasn't for me. I survived. I made it through. But I would not, under any circumstance, tell somebody you have to go. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Figure something out. It's a way to get paid.
Yeah.
I went on a tangent.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us. But let's reel that on back. So the whole idea is, like, when you're dating somebody or married to somebody, when y'all have an argument, you have to figure out, is this worth having? Because some arguments can be avoided very quickly.
Easy.
I was wrong.
It takes humility. I have to get off that pride horse and walk down here with you, with the regular commoners. Everybody, like, I gotta be who I really am, a human being, and that's flawed.
And that's a big issue for people. Some people can't let go of their pride. Men and women have this pride issue. Like, I hate when they just say only, masculine pride and masculinity. No. As a human being, you have this idea of pride of, I don't want to ask for this. I don't want to be wrong about this. I don't want to give up this.
Right.
So, when you have to go, man, I'll tell you one thing I hated. Like, I hate with a passion asking anyone for money about anything. I don't care because I'm like, I feel like I'm indebted to you. I owe you. But at some point in time, sometimes you got to suck it up, especially if you got kids.
You ain't got no options.
And like, you're going to have to suck that one on up. Like, I got kids.
I can either ask the loan shark or ask you. Let me ask you first.
Exactly. Because if your kids need to eat, is your pride going to keep food out of their mouth? If it is, you are a trash individual. Oh, our pride is worth more than you eating today. Or things like that. Or if your children are young and they need diapers, is your pride really worth your children walking around with that stanky diaper?
Tell us about the cloth diapers. And
the cloth diapers coming.
Swirl it in the toilet. Every time she said the swirl, she did the hand motion too. The little, you gotta swirl it in the toilet. And I was like, what is it? When
the last time you ever seen the cloth diaper?
I have not. I've yet to see it.
I'm just saying, I think they have them somewhere,
sure they do.
but They don't sell them in regular stores.
This gotta be tough. I just feel like that
Maybe Bye Bye Baby or something.
when I think about it, I just be like, sometimes I feel like, yeah, our parents are built different than us, and in some instances, I feel like, as far as men, I can't speak for the women's side because I don't want them to say, "Oh, you don't know us." I don't. When it comes to men, I feel like there's key things that this generation of men, when it comes down to it, we outweigh what men in the past did.
Yes,
But
definitely.
on for respect, when it comes to respect for them and certain things that they did in their time that we don't do, that outshined us. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Involvement with kids, at least for my circle of friends.
For most, let's just be honest. Most of the time, Dad wasn't there. If Dad was there, Dad was either asleep or watching TV.
Or had you help him do something.
Yeah. It was going to be something work related.
It's work related. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to learn how to work.
Yeah. Nowadays, more fathers are trying to take more interest in their children.
I remember this one commercial back in the day where it was the father teaching his daughter the little cheerleading routine.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's us now. Like, because my dad would be like, no, not going to happen.
Yeah.
You need to figure this out. And he just go, he looking at you like, nah, you need to figure this out.
I don't know how you're going to figure it out, but you're going to figure it out.
I paid for you to be in cheerleading. I got the dress, the sequence, all that. I don't have to dance. Whereas us is like, I paid for the dress, the sequence, and all that. And okay, baby, you ain't got nobody to show you. I'll
try.
I'll try until I can pay somebody else to do this.
Daddy going to do his best.
I'm going to do my best.
But you know, like back in the day, I will say this: more men had more of a harder work ethic than we do now.
And then the jobs were really labor intensive. It was more manual labor.
They put in
especially
work.
For black men.
Yes.
Especially for black men or people of color. I got some Mexican friends who were telling me about what they dads had to do, and I just was like, sure, will I survive? Of course.
But you know one thing, historical thing real quick. Back in the day, a lot of times, the reason they used the word color, they didn't just call them Mexican or anything. Like, you were colored, and like, all y'all were colored. Like,
y'all in together.
Yeah, you all in this together. It's we just broke more out of it, like in the 60s, 70s, and all that kind of stuff.
Everybody want their own individual identity.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, well, Latino rights, African American rights, black rights, civil rights, all those kind of things. It broke out and expanded into more things. But way back in the day, y'all all colored. Y'all all doing the same thing.
So, and that's, it goes into, people, we should be asking for equal rights, period. Just, I want you to level the playing field. But that ain't what this podcast is about right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to jump to the civil rights moment again.
It's okay.
Now, anyway.
It happens.
Don't get it. It'll come. Not here.
But
not
I just say, like, people need to remove some pride. I ain't saying get rid of all your pride.
In your marriage, there's not much room for pride.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong. Outside, when you combating the world, yes, you need pride. But when you're dealing with your spouse, the woman you with, it's really not. It's not about how much pride you got. It's about how can I make your life.
How can we solve this? How can we do what's best for all of us?
What can I do for you?
Now, I'm gonna tell a lot of people this, and I was telling him this this past week. I was talking about Pulp Fiction. If you've ever seen Pulp Fiction, where Marcellus Wallace is over here talking to the dude, what is played in Die Hard, Bruce Willis. He talking to Bruce Willis and everything, and he's like, man, I know you got this itching, tingling in the back of your head saying, oh, I could just take the money and I'm still get away and do all this. Like, nah, man, don't do that. That's just pride effing with you. And the reason I say that is because sometimes as guys, I'm just speaking for me as a guy and most guys that I know, it's like, it's like always that am I being played in the back of my head? Oh, am I going to get screwed over? Or is it like, is she going to look at me as less than a man if I don't just say this, or if I don't charge her up, or if I don't act this way and do these kind of things?
You battling who you are with the perception.
Yes.
It's like, I am this, and at the end of this, I want you to respect me as such. But in order to get there, I have to go and do different tactics because this is what you believe a person that would do. And even if it ain't, I have to give you that performance so you can feel what I am. And it just, but sometimes you got to be like, look, no, I am who I am. I said what I said, and this is what I need you to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not finna give you this false image of who I am. This is what I actually am, and you know what I am. And pride aside, hey, this is where we're trying to go. So, how can couples avoid growing apart? Because you've been with even in the dating phase when you do go exclusive. You start to figure out who that person really is, their true likes and dislikes, or even when you get married, you getting into year 5, year 10. And you trying to say, okay, we here now. So what's the, how do you get to a point where you start to feel like, nah, it's we growing instead of, hey, it's, I'm over here doing this and you doing that, and maybe over time we ain't clicking like we used to click.
I look at it more as that spark. Like, I ain't saying the fire has died, but there's a difference when the fire is blue. It's just like almost simmering. Like you see the little blue flames and everything. It's still there, but it's not really high. Yeah. You got to figure out, you have to get outside yourself. Because one of the things I think we get, like if I know everything you're going to do for the most part, if you've been around somebody so much, you basically know their personality, what they're going to do, what they're going to watch, what they're going to wear, the way they act on certain things. Sometimes you gotta, I want to try that. Or, let's do this. Let's be a little more spontaneous. Let's, show something that we haven't shown. Like, if you're always the person that, every Friday night we're going to go out. We're going to do something else this Friday. Yeah. We ain't just going to go out. Or, for me, one of my things is I work a lot. I come home, I watch a little TV, probably do a little work on my computer or do something. I'll be up late, and then I'll go to sleep. Well, sometimes I just you know what? My wife really want to cuddle. And as I've gotten older, I actually enjoy cuddling. I'm like, you know what? It's going to be an early night. Forget all that other stuff.
Come hold me.
Hey, I ain't going to lie. Man, a good cuddle will make you feel all nice and warm inside.
Sounds just like a Care Bear.
Bruh, I'm just telling you what it is. Sometimes, and then when my wife be laid up and she'll be on her side of bed, halfway asleep or something. If I know she awake, you ain't gonna cuddle with me? And she'll roll over. I'm like, I'm just saying, sometimes you gotta change it up. If you are always the aggressor, sometimes the other person needs to be the aggressor and you take the back road. Because if you're always doing the same thing, at some point in time, it starts getting a little redundant and boring. Right. I've been doing this. Oh, well, she know what's up. And it's like...
Yep. I look at it, when I'm thinking about it, I be like, it's involvement. Because in a relationship, your spouse is going, for the most part, most of us anyway, I don't know about other people, but majority of the people, especially in the middle class, you spend 8 hours at work, right? And then, sometimes when you come home, you talk to your spouse about what you do, because it takes up a lot of real estate in your life.
Yeah.
So let's just say you telling your wife or your spouse what your experiences at work today, and they just uninterested. You might not pick up on it right then, but over time you're gonna be like, well, I don't even need to really talk to her about my job, because I tell her and she don't even pay attention.
Yeah.
It's wasting her time. It's wasting my time to tell her then. Then let's just say, hey, you like different sports. You got different extracurricular activities that you enjoy, you partake in, and they just don't. They never just, be like, well, even if I don't enjoy it, I'll just be in a space with you. Just enjoy it with you. Whatever it is. I don't like it, but you like it and I like you. So I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, those small moments, because, it's just like it's a fracture first. And then as over time, it just erodes, and that little small little slither in the ground becomes the Grand Canyon. And so now we can grew apart. Now you on that side and I'm on this side. It's a whole bunch of stuff. I got a whole alternate life that I live over here that I'm doing that you know nothing about because you showed no interest in, or even attempted to hear me when I was just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Listening to your spouse goes a long way.
So, I got an idea. What is something that spontaneous you could do just like out of the norm that would you think would catch your spouse's eye? Because one of the things I say is like there's things we could do on the norm that's very easy, but certain things like out of the blue, like what could you do as men, since we're men, like to catch your wife's eye?
What can we do? Well, one, in my case, I could really just cut my hair. Because I haven't done it. I mean, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to do it.
That's why he got this dad hat on right now.
It's a fro up here right now. I could just really, if I want to catch my wife's eye right now, it's that simple. I could just go and see D-Mac, the barber. Shout out D-Mac. I can go and get my hair cut by this gentleman, look good, fresh. My wife would be like, oh, my gosh, look at him. And boom, I'm in the game once again. All over.
I would say is like, because I thought about this and I'm like, man, laser tag. Like out of the blue, like, hey, put on some, gonna put on some clothes and everything. We go laser tag. And man, it's a fun time. Everybody has fun because women be competitive just like men are. And especially if she could get one up on you.
Yeah. Bro, you know what game is really underrated for relationships? Cornhole, bro.
What's cornhole?
You know how you got the little wood up there and you got a chunk of little...
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's what that's called?
Cornhole, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I've been playing that for a long time.
The game is so easy to where it, like, with my wife, I don't need easy games. I need complex, hard, difficult, grueling games.
I need something she can't just beat me down.
I need at least a week prior practice to she ever touching a stick. For me, because of who my wife is. But for all those other guys who have the girlfriend or the wife who are like, oh, I don't play video games. Go get you a cornhole set, bro. Get you a cornhole set and some champagne or some whatever liquid refreshment that she like. I guarantee you're going to have a good night. And you can do that in your backyard.
Ooh, another one. Bumper cars.
Bumper cars. First of all, hit a carnival.
Yeah, like, carnival go hard.
Like, Six Flags shouldn't be trying to deal with bankruptcy. I don't think they are anymore. But, you can just go up there, bro. Like, it's a lot to do. They provide all the fun. You just sit down and ride. And she going to have a good time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's pricey, but it's good.
There's always something you could do. And, like, sometimes the simplest, easiest things are the best things. You could go for a picnic. How many women been on a real picnic? I don't know too many.
I don't know. My wife probably been on one, but it ain't been with me. I need to go take her on a picnic or something. I took her to this little light festival.
Yeah, well, that worked because, hey, that's what I'm going to do too. Like, man, I don't know. There's one going down 20, going back toward East Texas and everything called Santa Land or something like that, where it's just like it's almost in Turl somewhere around there. And it's like a whole bunch of lights. They got things lit up. They got Santa and all that kind of stuff out there. I'm like,
go see that. First of all, that's all right. Let's take this last few minutes and what's something that you can do for Christmas, like an experience for Christmas that you can take your wife to? Because right now I know Gaylord got the ice going.
I heard that one. There's the other one at Great Wolf Lodge. They got Santa Claus and they got all that stuff there. I'm like, oh, like that's cool, just to time out with the family.
Because we'll have a few more shows before Christmas actually hits. But I want to look up, at least for the Dallas Irving type area. I need to look up where people, because there's certain people who have those neighborhoods where everybody on their street do real good, nice light setups and all that. I need to find those. I'm gonna try to get y'all some of these.
I got another one. You could always go to the Galleria Mall and go. Yes, ice skating with that big old on Christmas tree. Like, man, they got the caroling and stuff going.
It's
Christmas
a beautiful
time.
experience. Yeah. And you just skating and do. Also, easy. You get Netflix and chill. Never been so. It's a real gift. You got all these Christmas movies on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. Streaming services are putting people on right now. This that time of season where you can watch Elf 100 times. You can watch Santa, Jack Frost. You can watch Charlie Brown Christmas. You can watch that 30 times.
Now,
the Grinch got 30 different versions of the Grinch.
Yeah. Hey, the original is the best one to me.
Hey,
but
I still like Jim Carrey.
Yeah. But one thing, if you're going to do the Netflix and chill thing, you got to make sure you go all out. Pop the popcorn, get the hot chocolate, get a blanket.
And don't get your blanket off your bed. Get the fleece blanket, the one that's real soft. Get that. They got a company. If you go on Amazon, you can get your face and her face put on the blanket. It ain't even that expensive, dog. It ain't even like crazy expensive. You can have that.
But nah, there's always something you could do. You like driving through them neighborhoods that got lights up and everything.
I was trying, like I said, I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna let them know where they at. You in Dallas? Next show, I'm gonna let you know at least one place. I can't promise two, because I don't know a lot of them. But I'm gonna let you know at least one where you can go and you ain't gotta spend no money outside of gas, and you can ride down there and just look at lights. I know it's one house in Mesquite. I don't know, they might have moved now, but dog, every year they had this big Ferris wheel. They had Charlie Brown, the Grinch. They had the whole, it's various scenes. Each part of the yard had a scene.
Well, there should be a lot of lights or something going on because, man, I went to At Homes that used to be Garden Ridge and all that stuff. Man, they shelves almost picked clean, like everybody's celebrating Christmas. So if everybody's celebrating Christmas around here,
I should be able to get something. I should be able to see something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be out there looking for them. When I find the one, I'm going to figure out who's the people. If you know who the people are, go ahead, go to a group for the people. Shoot me something. Let me know where I need to be at. Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for who out here got them Christmas lights. If you got them Christmas lights, let me know. I'm pulling up. I'm watching. I'm into y'all.
I'm about that life.
I'm about it. We at that time in the show where we do some shout outs and show some love. Who you showing love to?
Well, as always, I got to show love to my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. She did her last pop up for the end of this year. Even though it's December, ain't too much time left in this year. Right. But like, she did her pop up. She did very well on her pop up. Check out her pages. Yanni Like Mine, Traces Like Mine, Wasted Desires that she does with my sister-in-law. They're on Instagram, on Facebook, stuff like that. She finally got the website up. So it's, oh man, it's just slipped my mind. Don't judge me. Like,
bring it to us next time.
Yeah, next time I got you.
With it. If you don't bring it to us next time,
I have it next time. She told me, but I forgot the name of it. Okay. But
bring it to
also,
us next time,
shout out to Aretha. She does body sculpting and all that kind of. She does the ice.
Ice sculpting.
I forgot. It's like ice thing that they put on them to help the body out, body contouring, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. She basically works on the bodies, ladies. Check her out. She's in Northeast Mall. She also has her business in Arlington. Let's see, who else? For the last person, us. Shout out to Some for the People. I ask y'all check us out, like, subscribe. Yes, we are on Facebook, but we're also on YouTube. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Spotify.
It's a podcast. We own it.
Yeah, we on iHeartRadio, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So just check us out. It's something the number 4 DA people.
When you see the gold line, that's us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
You can see it in our background, right? Yeah, somewhere right there.
It's right there. It's on there. You know.
Yeah. Poke him in the eye.
So I'm gonna do a shout out. Of course, I'm gonna shout out my mom, top notch. Shout out Wiggle Mandinga. He told me he gonna be getting back into something soon. So when he get back to it, Bully Wiggles, I'm gonna let you know exactly what he got going. He trying to make some moves in this podcast and video and all this realm. Once again, I'll let you know. Shout out to Tyler Bailey, of course. Great clothes by a great guy. It's my cousin. Shout out D-Mac. I just told you I need to come see you about this haircut. I know he worked through Booksy. I'm gonna have to just book it and just show up. You know what I'm saying? Cause,
It be like that. I need to do something about mine. Mine growing back too fast.
I see, man. That's cool. But yours ain't like mine right now. You still
Well, I
fresh.
just cut mine again.
Oh.
I'm more of a werewolf, so if I don't cut it like every day,
Dang, I couldn't even. If I had to do it every day, my wife would leave me. I just believe that. So yeah, shout out D-Mac, and also Thursday is Bianca's birthday. If you don't know who Bianca is, For Your Ambition,
her
DJ
husband
Neil,
is
it's
doing
her husband. So, but we've known him for quite some time. But yes, her birthday's coming up. It's going. I don't think we doing anything, but I'm gonna give her a shout out anyway. But, you
Hey,
know,
Bianca.
Hey Bianca, happy birthday, Bianca. Have a great time, Bianca. Doing whatever you're doing. I think I think she in a master program now.
Okay.
Moving on up. People getting things done. Oh, shout out For Your Ambition too. With that being said, this has been another episode of Something for the People.
Be easy.